All right, let's set the stage. It's day one of the second Ashes test, and to say England are on the back foot is a massive understatement. They've just been flattened, losing the first match in a humiliating 2 days. So they're down 1-0, the pressure is absolutely immense, and the press and former players are circling like sharks.
So that's the real question hanging over everything, isn't it? How do you possibly respond to that? It's a question for a team that's desperate for some redemption, and as we'll see, it's a question for two giants of the game, on opposite sides, both staring down a career-defining moment.
Before a single ball was even bowled, the battle had already started off the pitch. After that first test collapse, England got called a lot of things, but one word in particular, arrogant, thrown out by former Aussie pacer Mitchell Johnson. Well, that one clearly stung.
And here's the response from the England captain Ben Stokes. This tells you so much about their mindset, right? He's basically saying, look, call us rubbish? Fine, we get it. We played poorly. But don't you dare question our character. It's defiant for sure, but you can feel just how much that criticism got under their skin.
Okay, so with all that noise in the background, England wins the toss. They decide to bat, hoping to lay down a marker, but any hope for a fresh start ran straight into an old nightmare. Mitchell Starc with a pink ball under the lights.
And yeah, that was the result. Just look at that. After only 3 overs, England are 5 runs for 2 wickets. This wasn't just a bad start, it was an absolute catastrophe. Whatever game plan they had was just shredded to pieces right then and there.
Starc was just on a different planet. He gets Ben Duckett caught in the slips with the very first ball of the entire match, a golden duck. Then, just a few minutes later, Ollie Pope chops one onto his own stumps. And at this point, you are definitely thinking, oh, here we go again. It felt like a replay of the first test was already starting.
But just when it looked like a complete and total collapse was about to happen, England started to fight back. And leading that resistance were the two guys under maybe the most pressure of anyone, opener Zak Crawley, who was coming off a pair of ducks, and the former captain, Joe Root.
And what a turnaround it was. I mean, look at this. From the absolute brink of disaster at 5 for 2, Crawley and Root just dug in. They weathered that early storm, and they put together this massive partnership of 117 runs. It completely changed the feel of the day and dragged England right back into the game by tea.
And this is where the day's story really shifts, from just a team trying to survive to this incredible personal duel between two modern legends of the game. Because both Joe Root and Mitchell Starc weren't just playing for the Ashes. They were chasing history.
Let's start with Starc. He walked into this match needing just a few more wickets to overtake a true icon of cricket, Wasim Akram, and really cement his own place among the all-time greats. And late in the day, he got it. 418. With the wicket of Bryden-Carse, he got there. That number officially makes Mitchell Starc the most successful left-arm fast bowler in the entire history of Test cricket. He moved past the Sultan of Swing himself. Just incredible.
And how about this for a touch of class? The moment the record was broken, the legend himself, Wasim Akram, sent out this message. It's such a powerful tribute, a real passing of the torch from one great to the next. You love to see it.
Now let's talk about the other half of this duel, Joe Root. He is, without a doubt, one of the greatest batters of his generation. But there has always been this one massive hole on his otherwise stellar resume. He had never scored a Test century on Australian soil. It was the one ghost he just couldn't seem to shake.
And to really put that into perspective, just think about that weight. 16 tests, 30 different innings walking out to bat in Australia, over more than a decade of touring, facing some of the best bowlers in the world in their own backyard, and never once raising the bat for 100. The pressure must have been just off the charts.
And on this day, he finally broke the curse. His very first Test century in Australia. His 40th 100 overall. I mean, think about it. With his team on the ropes, under the most intense pressure imaginable, he produces one of the most important innings of his entire career.
And his teammate Zak Crawley really said it best. For a guy carrying so much expectation, so much history on his shoulders, Root played with this incredible calm and control that just defied the entire situation. It was a true masterclass. So you'd think that would be enough drama for one day, right? Wrong. The final session, back under the lights, delivered absolute, wonderful chaos, with the momentum just swinging back and forth like a pendulum.
Stark, smelling blood in the water, comes back into the attack and just rips through the lower order. Boom, boom, boom. 3 quick wickets to complete his 6-wicket haul. England are suddenly 9 down. But then, this final, completely unexpected twist. Jofra Archer comes out to join Root, and instead of just trying to survive, they launch this insane counterattack, smashing 61 runs in just over 7 overs.
So, at the close of play, when the dust finally settled, England somehow finished on 325 for 9, a score that would have seemed completely impossible just a few hours before. And the day, really, it belonged to these two men. Joe Root not out on a historic 135, and Mitchell Starc, the brand new world record holder with a phenomenal 6 wickets.
And that leaves us with the big, tantalizing question. England puts a really respectable total on the board, built on a masterpiece from their best player. But Australia's star bowler broke a world record and has them 9 wickets down. It was a day of just unbelievable individual triumphs, but the match itself, it's perfectly balanced on a knife edge. Who do you think has the advantage? Let us know what you think in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, check out our other explainers on the biggest moments in sport. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of our updates.